Hey, what's going on, everyone? We are back from getting stuffed on Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving, we are back to regular scheduled programming and into Christmas gear. What's up,
Holiday.
everyone? Welcome to the Inner Circle podcast. It is another Wednesday, another amazing show. How are you?
I'm good. I just correction. You have to say holidays because not everyone celebrates Christmas.
True, true. The holidays, happy holidays. That's one thing, though. When I walk around, I do say happy holidays. I don't say like Merry
Yeah.
Christmas.
Um, I feel like I'm tired. I had all this time off and I feel like I'm exhausted. Like where did time go?
I know, I know. I had a nice
You sound
little
tired too.
no. I had a nice little art. No, back to the grind after having a little short but very sweet little getaway to Arizona. But
Mhm.
now we're back on the show, and we last week we had an amazing Friendsgiving with Barbie, friend of the show, Sean, OG, and then our new friend of the show, Ruby. And we continue this week with more guests. I'm excited to bring on, he's an artist, singer, and he's ready to talk about his new single today and projects stemming from that new single. And we're going to get to know this guy. Welcome to the show, Christian Reyes. How are you? Welcome.
Hi. I'm looking at this song called the Narcisista. You know that song?
Narcisista. The
Yeah.
narcissist.
Um, I mean, Aileen la más viral. So she's the most like viral girl in DR, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I don't even
I
know
know
her. Never
I know
met her.
of her.
Yeah, I never met her, but I could relate to that song.
Why? Because of that little introduction?
That was a quick introduction. I wasn't ready, but thank you so much for having me, Charlie. Thank you, Melanie, for having me. You guys are awesome.
No, welcome to the show. We're excited because I know you have a new single coming out that we're going to talk about. So many projects, and there's deeper meanings of like how these projects stemmed and all that. So we're excited to get into all that. But for the people watching, for the people that don't know you, let's get to know the man Christian Reyes. Like, we're talking about music today. Tell us about your start in music. At what age did you know those talents and that passion that for singing and such? Like, when did that all start, and how did you nurture it and get into it?
Well, it's amazing you asked that question because it starts on Broadway. So my mom has a hair salon in Broadway, in 184th and Broadway, and I grew up in the hair salon, just singing into the mirrors with a hairbrush in my hand. So the fact that I was able to mention just Broadway and this single that's about to come out was a true luxury because not everyone's able to express the that where I'm coming from, meaning that I grew up in these streets, that I saw what it is, a hard woman coming from nothing to be able to establish her empire and just sing about what it is, that to me is Broadway. Broadway it's, Manhattan, let's talk about Broadway. Broadway, it's a bridge that has opened up to all generations, to all, I would say, the Latin community as well. I feel that this movement right now, that I want to testify to, there's freedom. There's freedom to talk about our artistry. There's no pressure. There's no condemnation. There's no box. And that's what I'm promoting today in my single, I would say. At 37 years old, I feel like a little Tamar Braxton. You know what I'm saying?
It's never too late. And could you share the name of the single?
Of course. So it's in Spanish. So it's the first time I'm sharing the name of the single. It's called Volver a Vivir.
Love
So you
it.
see, I'm slurring just speaking in Spanish, but honestly, I do slur speaking Spanish and singing Spanish. But I felt I had to go into my roots and just be genuine and just sing from my heart. And I felt this is the route to go, and it's honestly be the next Mark Anthony, I would say, in the Dominican culture. I feel like there's big voices out here that need to be heard.
Exactly. I agree with that. Go. as a child, did your mom, you singing at her salon and stuff, did your mom like notice your talent? Did she make you want like push you with your talent? Like
She's
there
my
you
number
go.
one fan. Look, this is in her bedroom. So I was the best man in that wedding, which is my cousin's wedding. And yeah, they know. There was something that she mentioned the other day. She was like, I feel like it's time for you to share your story, because I feel that now, by the way, we're highlighting my father's project that just came out of prison. So applause to that. He's been out since after 26 years of being incarcerated. There's been a lot of projects that have come out from that system, like Kurt Franklin, like Donnie McClurkin, like Kiki Sherd. And I come from those roots. I've been able to sing for Donnie McClurkin prior to expanding to fashion shows and singing out here in Washington Heights. So it's been a privilege to be able to just be humbled and be able to really, really, really just touch ground and base on what we're trying to do right now.
Yeah, and talk to us a little more about the film. I know you have it. There's an Instagram page, Vida Nueva Film. Could
Yes.
you tell us a little more about that and elaborate more about, because it all ties in with your new single project. So let's get into that and let's elaborate a little bit about that. Vida Nueva Film.
Yeah, so Vida Nueva Film, I'm part of a cast, and I would never think I would be part of a cast because I declined Love and Hip Hop due to Jonathan Fernandez, one of my friends. When he was featured on this first season, there was a storyline that I declined, and I chose to make sure that mental health was a priority. Um, and he respected that, and he could attest to that as well. But my brother has always been from an entrepreneur. Maximo Reyes is also my brother, that has owned Casa, which I was able to open up for Out My Closet, which we did a fundraiser that then expanded to boxers. He was able to attest what we're trying to do with our storyline and make sure that our storyline is respected. Now there's a lot of eyes on us, I would say, to be honest, because I would say prior to Mob Wives, now there's a whole storytelling in VH1. There's Netflix. I have personal friends that I'm in finance, so I've worked for the books. I was able to do Mariah Carey's books, guys, for the McDonald's commercial. I did those books,
And you're a big Mariah fan.
and that
And a
was
huge
like,
fan.
and I did, and I'm a big, big fan of just her longevity and the way she handles her talent. So that was just a blessing. But teaching that now these days to the older generation is kind of hard, I would say. So that's where the love and the hardness is coming in right now in this project that we're just taking our time to develop.
And then there's also a soundtrack because your
Yes,
single is
yes,
also
yes,
part
yes.
of a soundtrack that ties in with the film. So could you tell us a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, so there's 4 songs that are out. So I was a little upset because they're trying to push my song back. It was supposed to come out November 1st, but me being the Michael Jackson that I am with my vocals, I just kept on going back to the studio, and I had to make sure that it was the right fit for me. It was the right message, that I was portraying my Dominican roots correctly, that I was representing my mom, my father, as I should. So there was a lot of pressure, and there still is a lot of pressure because it's still in the talks. The fact that the people that I worked with 15 years ago, I work with now, and are people that work with Don Omar, that work with Anaildi, that work with these major streams. And I've never even asked for favors, but the fact that they have eyes on my project, because I feel like God is telling me like it's time, is humbling. It's very humbling. And it's just an experience that I want to be able to carry all our crowns, because my story might not be your story, Charlie, or it might not be Melanie's story. But at the end of the day, I think I'm carrying my story with pride and dignity. And that's what takes time with the craft, like that's the hard part of it, but that's the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm. No, it definitely is. I myself get what you're saying, like when you say it's
I'm a little
time,
high,
because
though. Cut that off. Kidding.
it's a, I myself know that getting coming into your own, and Melanie could attest to this too, with putting myself out there with my 1111 boxes and my little own ways of being an entrepreneur. It's scary. So like,
No,
but
no, please elaborate because I saw you doing your own entrepreneurship. And by the way, I wanted to come to this platform because I seen your consistency.
thank you,
And
thank
not
you.
just you, but Melanie as well. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I never met her before, but the fact that she's your friend, like that's kind of dope.
Oh, thank you. And I'm very selective with friends, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm
she,
not.
no, she's actually,
We
she
got a
could
little
be,
hand here too, you know.
in a sense, she is, but she's also such a social butterfly. It's so funny
I
that she
am.
says that because, like, when we go out, she is way more extroverted than I am. Like,
You
way
think so?
extrovert. Absolutely. You're the
I
one that
can.
pushes me
What
sometimes
does
to
that mean
do.
extroverted these days?
Introverted is someone like, I don't want to speak
Extroverted,
for
I'm
all
sorry.
Pisces. I don't want to speak for all Pisces or you as a Pisces because I know there are some Pisces who are very out there, but introverted are people who are more into
I'm
themselves.
gonna send you this, Charlie.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Oh,
gonna send you
definitely,
this.
yes. Introverted are people who are more into be would rather be by themselves, like being around too many people. Their energy could feel
That's me
depleted. They'd
right
rather
now.
be by themselves. Then there's extra, or people who also have a hard time with like having going to a big party and having like conversations and things like that, and just being out there and social butterflies. They maybe more the person by the wall, the corner, having their drink, or just with their small circle. And extroverted people are just social little butterflies. They love being around people all the time. Yeah. But I think Melanie's
I
a
think.
social extroverted when we're in settings and events and stuff where she just
Yeah.
goes for it. And I
I
love
think it
that.
also has to do with like work. When you're in a setting, when you're in a business too, whether you're singing or you're acting or you're selling, whatever case, you have to have like some sort of like energy to speak to people, all types of
Mhm.
people.
Sorry,
So,
that's what I was trying to play earlier.
oh, that's fine.
The single?
But yeah, you have to be
No,
a little
that's
bit of both.
the narcissist song.
Gotcha, gotcha.
No, we're gonna get
So
back to the subject of the narcissist because that's how we opened up. But I'm sorry, Melanie, that Charlie and you can't let these two fish talk right here.
No, it's fine.
No, so now you mentioned the church earlier, right? And we're working with Donnie McClurkin.
Yes,
You grew up in the church. You
I
grew
am
up,
the church.
yeah. You grew up singing, and you and on if you follow Christian on social media, you will see that from your posts and stuff. Let's talk about um the church and your relationship with the church and growing up singing and still it's a passion of yours. I love your love for God because
Thank you.
same here, you know what I mean. I'm on my own spiritual journey.
That's why
my
we're
con-
doing this.
my
That's why we're doing this.
continuous spiritual journey, because it's always continuous. It's not a thing where you just are. It's
There's
just
not a
something you
stop
continue to
to
grow.
it.
Exactly. It's something that you just continue grow. That continues growing as long as you're blessed
Knowledge
to be on
is
this
a
earth.
blessing.
So, but let's talk about your relationship with the church because I know um, there could also be and we've heard it out there sometimes. There could also be some betrayal, unfortunately, in the church. So, can we talk about that? Your relationship with the
I
church and
mean,
growing up in it?
my relationship, I mean, what do you define church to be? And I want to ask Melanie that question, because we've been very excited for this episode because I've been communicating with Charlie because I trust him and I trusted what with your guys' consistency in your podcast and what we're trying to do right now.
Mhm.
But Melanie, what do you define church to be?
I define church to be a place. It's basically an establishment where people go to praise a sort of deity, basically a god, or someone that they like believe in. It doesn't necessarily have to be Jesus Christ. It could be any type of like God.
Allah,
Buddhism,
Buddha,
Yeah,
depending, yeah.
but it's basically a place where everyone comes together. I'm not the right person to talk about church with because I grew
No,
up
you're
Catholic.
the right person to have the question asked to. That's why.
Yeah, I grew up Catholic and I am still Catholic by proxy, but I am more spiritual now and I haven't gone to church in a long time. Like as I've gotten older, I don't think that you need to go to a church to like find God, talk to God. You can talk to God at any moment at any time.
I
So,
agree. I agree.
And I
yeah.
agree
Totally.
with that too. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like I'm in and out of church, because I also believe for me, it's finding the right church and the right, you know what I mean? And that's
The
a
community,
deeper
right?
the
Well,
community.
as
Yeah.
a seen other community, but to be honest with you, Charlie, sorry to interrupt, but I had people speak to me and tell me the same exact words that I'm speaking to you. Oh, it's about the community, and it's not about the community. It's really about the Holy Spirit being present, and the Holy Spirit being present will make you feel the conviction you need to have, and would make you speak about the right subject, would make you articulate yourself correctly to defend whatever it is you're defending, you know.
Hmm.
So to me, the church is not for walls. To me, the church is Melanie, you and I tonight, on this podcast, and anyone watching, because that's community as well. But doesn't there's no Christianity there, there's no Judaism, there's no Buddhist here. There is just one community speaking their perspectives and just having a good time promoting a happy song. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Which is called Volver a Vivir.
Yes. And when I know you saying that they keep pushing it back, but when could we get Volver a Vivir? When could
Well,
we
before
listen to
the
it?
end of this year, so that I'm honestly a little upset because I've been dealing with my mental health. So I'm being very genuine. I'm being very open. So I get very excited, and I'm a Devo. I'm very Mr. Mariah Carey. I know my talent. I grew up. There's 6 songs that are featured that are out of me singing that I never approved of, but I could attest to all of them, and I wrote them and I wrote the hooks. So I've been jaded when it comes to the Christian community or when it comes to just releasing music or the music industry. So the fact that I could carry my name and say that I wrote this song, that not only that, but I also have some ghostwriters that are some big names out here that, you know, next year when the project develops to what we're wanting to develop, and that's why we're starting from today to be able just to promote from the you know, to just plant little seeds of a rootness. You know, I want the roots to just expand to what we're doing out here in this community out here, especially Washington Heights, and just our land community, that is never too late. F what anyone ever had to say to not curse, right? You know what I'm saying? And just live, you know, and you guys have been an example of that. That's why I'm just again giving you guys thanks again for this platform.
No, you're welcome. And you mentioned mental health, right? And dealing with your mental health, but music, your outlet, your creativity, your art, how has that helped you along with your mental health journey?
Wow. No one understands. So excuse me. No one would understand that process of you putting your craft into alignment. And I think that what would dictate that would be time, to be honest with you. Longevity, not an award. I'm not looking for awards. I'm not looking for the best singer title, or I'm not looking for. Honestly, I'm singing in Spanish. Another thing, it's a mambo, so it's a song that I would never. It's a rhythm I would never even think of me singing in. That my brother pushed me, and he said, "Listen, like, come on, Daddy Yankee back in the day was a name that he will always put in my ear because he was always a music guy. My brother has owned plenty of businesses. Kaza was somewhere I was able to record safely during the pandemic, and I was able to record for Out My Closet, which is another fundraiser. They just interviewed Evie Queen, you know, so we're all in alignment of what we're doing with this Latin community. But it's scary. It's scary to just kind of just have a safe zone, you know, to be able to express yourself.
What advice would you give to other like creatives and artists that struggle with that mental health and but
Wow,
still, you
good
know,
question.
yeah.
I would say to follow up and to learn, to educate yourself day by day, and to be very selective. I would say the number one is to be very selective who's in your ear. I think that's very important for you to know. I heard this. Listen, I have. By the way, I want to shout out so much people, but I have a good support system that came to the Heights, that grew up in the Heights, that learned the Heights and branched out, and that are lawyers, that are top accountants, that are top politicians. My friend who just ran for being a senator right now. You know, that's not a politics thing, so I'm not gonna give names out. But just to be able to be like, yeah, I know him. I went to I was able to be in Slope Weekend in Cornell with so and so, or I dated so and so, or I know this person because I had pillow talk with so and so. Really talks longevity in these streets, you know. So I would say to be authentic to who you are and to the calling behind of what God is calling you to call. Because, okay, I kind of slurred it there. The
No,
calling
you
that God is
did.
calling you to call is what I said, right? That sounds like a rhyme. I've been poetic.
No, no, it's right. You're right, and that's amazing advice. And but sometimes, for some people, even when you feel it in your spirit, like this is what it is, like it's that fear of putting yourself out there. So when it comes to fear, because it's a funny thing, and I'm learning about that. And I've been doing reading because I love to read and just things. And when it comes to fear, how do you face fear now?
Well, I face fear every morning. Every morning, I face fear every morning. And honestly, this year has been the year that I just decided to face fear. So that's a good question, Charlie. Thank you for asking that question. But this year, I chose to take time just to focus on my fear and not run away from it. So whatever my platform is, whatever God is calling me, you kind of wake up and something in your brain is telling you, bitch, run that door, run through that
Mhm.
door. You see that door that's open over there? It might look like a hill. Go up that hill and climb through that door now. And if you don't do it, there's gonna be such regret that you're gonna wake up feeling sad. You're gonna wake up feeling unaccomplished. You're gonna wake up feeling like you didn't do anything. So that's where I'm at right now. I feel like I have this adrenaline to just barge through the doors that are being opened, but not every door is God's door. So
That's what I like that. Yeah.
being prayed up, fasting, are the keys to be able to know how to distinguish the doors that God is calling you to take, I would say.
And I love how you said not every door is God's door. Wow.
Melanie is quiet over there. Come on, Melanie. It's
No.
9:26. You have 26 minutes.
Yeah, you're the one getting the interview. You're the guest. I speak enough every
No,
day.
I want
I'm
to hear
listening,
more of
and I'm
you.
learning.
This is hard.
She's my co-host, and sometimes she's just
It's a
the
team
pretty face. Listen, Howard Stern, Robin. Robin didn't always talk a lot sometimes.
I don't even know who Robin is. That's the funny thing.
Robin was like Howard.
He's just as famous as Howard Stern.
Yeah,
Like,
just as famous. But go ahead, explain her.
this is why I'm not talking, because two Pisces, like, we can't get a word in between.
Looks like
No, but Robin is his counterpart.
There's all cheese in him, by the way.
Exactly, and I love Robin. I love when I used to listen to Howard Stern. My dad drove me. My high school senior year. My dad drove me to school every morning. Right, it was my senior year. Yeah, my senior year. Every morning, and we used to stop at Dunkin' Donuts. He always did that. He loves his Dunkin', and we used to listen to Howard Stern. And Howard Stern was always raunchy, so the conversation sometimes.
Raw, your dad.
But listen, I was in high school too, though. And my dad is a man. Like, this is the same guy. Like, when we were in Puerto Rico, like here, like driving, like giving me and my other brother like taste the Budweiser. Budweiser is disgusting, but we used to listen to Howard Stern, and Howard Stern obviously is the man. Like, the lead thing, like hello, like iconic. But to me, Robin, although she was his, like you said, what was the word? His
counterpart. But
counterpart. She was still. I love Robin.
I'm more of a John Hill to Andy Cohen.
You see Andy Cohen now. I can speak to because.
So Charlie is technically I'm the Andy Cohen.
I know another Charlie by the way, that's really close friends with Andy Cohen. So. Just throwing out there. He works in One Penn Plaza. Dominican lawyer. My mom.
He loves his Dominicans.
Yes, what I'm saying. My mom's been there for Christmas. They love us. But just to show you, like, I used to pass his resume out in these streets prior to him having his career. And just seeing who he is today in these streets is like, it just makes me cry. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it shows that a genuine heart would would take you far in these streets. You know what I'm saying?
So do you think that you have a lot of inspiration from people from your neighborhood that have made it out the neighborhood, but they still live in
No,
the neighborhood?
it's more about people who move in the neighborhood that could stay in the neighborhood, because it's an art. Like, honestly, uptown is really about artistry. So
Yeah.
right now I live around actors. I live around a lot of people that pay $5,000 with the mortgage right now, and we're blessed to just take that in and just kind of, well, I went to school out here. This is where my father wanted me to be, and this is where I'm at, and this is my land. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna fight for my land.
Hmm. There's a
See,
lot.
you're a Washington Heights girl
I'm
too,
not
in
in
a sense.
Washington Heights. I'm in Inwood.
But you used to live in the Heights.
No, I
Come
never lived
on,
in
you
the
gotta
Heights. I
love
lived in
You
us.
were
Inwood.
Come
near,
over one day. I'll cook for
even
you
when
guys. I
even
promise.
when it was you and Lucy together. When I used to go up there, no, that's not the Heights.
No.
I will forever look at you as a Heights girl. I don't know why. Maybe that area
Listen,
thing.
I'm by
I
the
love the
set,
Heights.
that they filmed Balbuena. They filmed, actually, they filmed in, they actually took an
Balbuena?
apartment. Yes, they
Yeah.
took an apartment in my building to film in the Heights. So I would never forget. I used to work in a law firm, so I would come in my little BMW. I had a coupe. Charlie used to remember. I used to go to the beach together in my little coupe. I was like, bitch, whatever. We used to pull up, whatever. And I used to come up, and I'm like, yo, they're filming in my building, Charlie. And they were filming in the Heights. I had no clue what they were filming, but they were filming in my building. So they used to take a property in my building to film in the Heights. So there's a lot of filmmaking out here that is still being under the wraps, that there's still a lot of storytelling. There's a lot of directors right here trying to tell a lot of stories. And honestly, my father's story is one of them. And the New York Film Festival is taking a look at that. Netflix is taking a look at that. HBO Max is looking at that. So I'm just humbled. And my song is just a fourth song coming out of the soundtrack for this Nueva Vida film that is, I'm part of a cast, in which I would never even say I would be part of a cast, because I never wanted to be so vulnerable, but you guys will see me in a whole nother perspective. We recorded this last year. The editing is up to my sister, which she's a director, LA TV Roots, you know what I'm saying, in LA right now. God is just doing their thing, you know what I'm saying? She was actually the number one booked artist in Minnesota of the Afro Latina community, and she was able to branch out to LA, and she's like, Christian, LA's not the same. There's like a million of me, bad bitches like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told you, bitch, like, it's hard on me. You know what I'm saying? But she was the number one in Minnesota. She went to school out there. She has an amazing community that supports her and is supporting this project. New York right now, I want to promote New York because I'm the only one that lives in New York. So this is just the beginning of what we're trying to do in New York, because LA is held down. You know what I'm saying? Minnesota's held down, but as New York, it's all on my shoulders as being the genuine son of Maximo Reyes, and this amazing documentary we're trying to build out with so much pride and so much joy.
So the documentary is gonna come out soon. It's being considered by the
Next
New
year,
York Latin Film Festival. We're gonna see it
they're
next year.
looking at it. They're looking at it. Let's not cross our fingers, because
Yes. Could you tell us
it's still in the making. We all have to prove ourselves as artists. There's a lot of beautiful documentaries. There's a lot of amazing artists. We're working with Jay Valera, with Edwin Velasquez right now, just part of the people that I'm working with in my single. And there's just so many names that we could just mention. Actually, just Edwin alone, I did a single with him 15 years ago called Siéntelo, which was a reggaeton, which I never would think I would sing in reggaeton, because I'm more of a soul singer, because my thing is Donnie McClurkin and the high notes and the you know what I'm saying? But I'm
clearly
just
a Mariah
excited.
fan.
You know what I'm saying?
Could you tell us a little bit about the
By the
film
way,
and what can
fun
we
fact,
expect?
Beyonce went to Freeport, which I'm from Freeport. I used to, sing worship in Freeport Bible Center, which Donnie McClurkin is well aware of. And prior to this project, I sent him a DM, and I'm like, I'm working on this project, and he gave me the blessings on it. He's like, Reverend Carlos Ruiz Vargas, which is our apostle out there in Freeport Bible Center. He was like, yes, I remember you. You know, you opened up in front of 100,000 people for TBN. I was like, yes, you opened up that door for us.
I know TBN.
And yeah, that footage, God willing, we could get it back for the documentary. And that's what we're working on. We're working hard and just pulling our strings together and just being able to do something beautiful for everyone.
Could you give us a small synopsis about the film and what the audience, the people could expect next year?
So next year we're focusing on the beauty of it because we didn't want to focus on the past yet because there's 18 books that have already been written for my father.
Okay.
So that's a whole machine on its own. Clearly, Reyes. But just alone is the aftermath of it. So it's the mental health, us just being a team, a Latin community that's helping him build himself to his best capacity, as well as ourselves and the family.
Awesome. Listen, I am so happy for everything going on with you. What could we expect besides, like, I know you're invested in, this film project with your dad, the single, the soundtrack, the whole family business of it all, and
the company. It's called the company.
The company, basically. But what could we expect besides you? Like, what can we expect for you beyond this?
Good vocals. You're gonna hear a good artist. You're gonna hear someone singing their heart out, and just telling a story with class and dignity.
Awesome. And listen, we like it. Thanksgiving may be over. But it's still November. So we've been ending it in gratitude. We've been ending the podcast, the show, with something to be thankful for, ending in gratitude. So let's all go around and something that we're thankful, ending it in gratitude. Melanie, you go first.
Kiss and tell. I got the kiss and tell story though. Kidding.
What am I grateful for right now? I'm grateful for having grounded roots.
Amen.
Being able to have your space, whether it's your own home or have a space at work, just keeping yourself grounded. That's what I'm grateful for.
Melanie, and honestly, I don't know you well, but you give that. You're someone that brings balance to a lot of people. And
I try. It's hard.
Keep on trying. I know the end of the year is a place that we all we're very heavy on ourselves, and from someone who's been extremely heavy on themselves their whole lives, I feel like I have the authority to say that over you, to continue. That's why I'm here. I'm here to have a conversation with people like you, to have a conversation like people like Charlie, like. I want to curse right now, but Mom is going to see this. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm be what's up? We good. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be okay. You know what I'm saying?
No, I appreciate that. It's a lot to carry on your shoulders when you try to ground people, when you try to try to be the person with wisdom. Sometimes I need my own wisdom, but it's hard.
No, that's why you have a community of people that, okay, so I would say, because a lot of people speak about the community, but a good question. I'm sorry, Charlie, I'm interrupting your questions now. But you
did in gratitude, but don't go ahead.
I wrote my questions down. So I put kiss and tell. We already spoke about that. We already spoke about the heights. I don't know what that says, but I see a 23 on it. So I would say Jordan. But I would say facts. Let's speak about facts. So let's give us 3 facts about this year that are strong facts that you learned from. And I would start, to be fair. Is that okay?
No, go ahead.
All right. So not to be a hothead, because I always been a hothead. And I don't want to say always, but to not be a hothead and to give space to listen to others, listening in the way that I comprehend what the other person is trying to communicate. So that would be number 1. Number 2 would that would be number 1. Let's just give 1 each, right?
Okay, yeah.
No, you can give as many as you want.
No, girl. I'll give my boy.
You don't need.
We're just starting.
things I want to. What was the question? Things you want to change?
No,
You wanna go
a
ahead?
fact of something that you want to honestly just, a fact you want to highlight about yourself that you want to change, I would say.
I want to work on my responses because I'm a firm believer of my response is my responsibility. So, however I respond to a scenario or a situation or something that may trigger something in me, I want to be able to receive it and then respond to it the way I want to, not react to it. So that's what I want to change.
Same here. I think what I could attest to what you're saying.
What you gave yours already, Christian?
Oh yeah, I was gonna speak for all of us, but I hate doing that because that's my number one pet peeve is when someone speaks for me. So I took it back.
So with me, something that I would want to change, something I've just been working on, period, and this something an advice Melanie has given me is my reaction is my responsibility in a sense. So like that's
Honestly,
something I've definitely been working on, and I definitely have put to test, and I'm proud of myself in many scenarios this year. Even unspoken ones I haven't shared. So it's like it's it's I'm actually doing the work and it's working. I'm not perfect because no human is perfect, but
that's the strength,
yeah.
guys. That was my other strength.
That's pretty.
So I have three. I have four. I have four rocks. So one says faith, one says love, one says dream, and one says strength. So that's the energy I'm surrounded with tonight.
But Christian, where could everyone, people listening to this afterwards, streaming? Because we're not only on video, we're not only on YouTube and Facebook Live.
I'm gonna put it on my page for sure.
We're also on. We also stream the very next day on Apple,
Reyes,
iHeart. Yes, which they could see here. If you're watching the video, you can see it on the ticker and also your IG, Vida Nueva Film. You can follow them on IG, it's on the ticker. Where else could they support you? Facebook.
You know, we love the Undertaker. You know, I grew up in WWF. When Razor put butt cheeks out and you saw Razor Ramon's butt cheeks, I was like,
Why you know about that? I was watching that.
hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it real. Like, it's
That's
true.
funny.
That was Razor Mania something. Oh my God, my Chanel earring came off.
All right. So again, so Christian Reyes, Christian, wait, give them exactly. You can see it on the ticker. It's Christian underscore Reyes official
That's my
on IG.
It used to be Chris Ray one.
IG, and then Vida. You could also follow Vida Nueva Film and the project on IG as well, and can't wait to listen to your new single. Say it again,
I
so
sound
the people
amazing. I sound so good.
Say it again, so the people know what it's called.
I'm gonna send it to you guys because you know what? Like I have this coquilla in me, and I'm about to just have fun tonight. And actually, Sean and Boxers are working on a listening party, so you guys are gonna be invited.
Boxers.
Yeah, I mean,
we know Boxers.
We've done all the parties, like, but we really want to do it big. But we want to do it in class this time around when it comes.
Which Boxers?
Well, you know, they did it. Actually, they did an amazing. They did my 33rd birthday, and guys, they sponsored me. I had like 7 bottles on the house. Like I was gonna be opened up. It was just, and I remember it was Jonathan too. He did an appearance for Love and Hip Hop, which is one of my friends, you know, which I care for. Which we're talking on other makings and other brands and things of that nature, you know, between the lines. But it's cute. It's cute. You know what I'm saying? It's all the same team right now.
We're gonna get to hear it. Can't wait to hear it and can't wait to share it.
Literally, you're gonna get it before 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And I want you guys to be honest with me. I'm gonna take the whole intro off because I just been dying of the mixing. I'm like, so but Cafe Nunez Mondays, what are you guys doing every Monday?
Us? Well, I mean, depending what I'm doing, I'm working, I'm doing my little entrepreneurship,
let's say from like 5 to 9.
That's afterwards.
I'm coming out of work at 6 o'clock.
Then But
All
I
right,
know Cafe Nunez. I used to work
yes.
like down the
So
block,
now
38th
one
Street.
of my producers, actually the main guy that I trusted with my vocals, which is mixing the whole project. He sings on Mondays right now in Cafe Nunez. So let's go support
So
him.
we're gonna have to go.
Jay,
I'll make
Jay,
it after 7.
that Randy Whiskey. You see, like I needed to write all these things down, like, but I would love us to also go show some support, our support out there to this amazing, talented man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll get Charlie to sing a couple of keys, you know what I'm saying, out there.
Who, me?
Why
I'll
not?
introduce our host.
You could do unfoolish or foolish from Ashanti.
I'll introduce everyone and try to give a little funny laugh.
No,
That's
you
about
guys
it.
could host. You guys could definitely
There
hold an
you
event. You can
go.
hold an event. You see, without the S. This is listeners. Oh my God! Fun fact, by the way, guys. So, uh, a highlight of this project. My father is a pastor now. So my father es de campo, ¿verdad? So el campo, la gente no habla con la pronunciación del español bien o correctamente. So ellos se expresan con muchas S o con muchos vowels, tú sabes, como que no encaja con la palabra. So ¿qué está hablando ahora? Porque allí es, and I'll be correcting him. I'm like, Jesus, like, is this me? Like, I know I'm a perfectionist, but like, I don't have the energy to correct this man's 18 books that he just wrote, you know what I'm saying? But this is just the first step that, we're all just trying to, like, this is us right here, by the way, just trying to do it, you know what I'm saying? And love each other through it,
Yeah.
But
That's family.
no se llama Mala. Hay una canción que se llama Mala para los cueros, tú sabes, porque hay que ser mala a veces en la cama por una Chanel. Hay otra canción que habla, oye, pero la canción mía es feliz. La canción mía es más, ni espiritual, pero una canción que Dios me puso a mí, que yo se la dediqué al Espíritu Santo. Que es una canción yo hablando, being grateful and saying, and choosing to be happy through the storm. And choosing to be joyful. So that's what I'm going to push in this project. And that's my dad's vision in this project.
Love that. And can't wait to hear it. Can't wait to watch the film and support you. And when it comes out, and when the film next year, when the film comes out, come back again.
Please send it to her.
Definitely, and come back again next year when the film comes out. We'll talk more.
Year, yeah. So la canción sale dos veces because this part of the soundtrack of Nueva Vida film. So I'm saying I'm just humbled. I'm just humbled because we had such a good outcome, and people were really just interested in the story. And I just want to stay authentic. I just want to stay honest. I don't want to play no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're at a stage that people could tell the fake from the real. So you know what I'm saying? So let's just be real. And I think God has amazing doors for all of us this upcoming year.
Amen. 2024. 2023 was amazing, but 2024 is going to be great. With that said, we love you guys so much. Thank you, Christian Reyes, for coming on. Support him, follow him.
Guys, what are you talking about? The Inner Podcast. What are you talking about?
Inner Circle.
See you guys. Follow live.